Today's show is sponsored by Roe. Are you ready to lose an average of 15% of your weight faster? Meet the latest offering through Roe. This formula from Eli Lilly hits not one but two hormones to curb hunger with less nausea. Your Roe affiliated provider can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. Roe members have support through the process. Plus, you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. That means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms. You guys know I've taken GLP-1 medications for weight loss, and I really wish Roe would have been around when I was navigating this process. The insurance. Look, weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. That to me is win, win, win. Join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Roe to access GLP-1s. Go to roe.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade. Go to roe.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% of weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight patients with a weight-related condition on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise.
Hi, everybody. I'm doing my Date with Dateline intro. This is not Mary Payne. This is Kimberly, as per usual. But instead of Mary Payne, I was going to say upgrade, but I felt like that was offensive to Mary Payne. A lateral move. I have Matt Marr from Reality Gaze with me. I'm so excited. I feel like I never.
You want me to be Mary Payne? I can be Mary. Y'all, I'm going to talk about Mississippi. I love Mississippi. Okay, my family. It's been there for years. I'm redoing my bathroom right now. It's just a mess. I mean, I just want a coffee maker by my bathroom sink. That's all I want, Kimberly.
Her whole life it's always renovation.
Ginger, stop doing that. Ginger. Violet, stop doing that to your sister.
And she's going to a beach house. It's always, I'm like, what is your life? You're always going to a
Kimberly,
beach house.
I can't go to that. I got to say for that beach house. I'm
saving. Or a renovation. I'm like, what is your life?
Be sure to use my Pink Shade code for Hello Lash. I got to say, by the way.
Hello Lash works though. She
sent me some too. And I made a video the other day because people kept asking about, we're in Los Angeles and kept asking like, are you and Jake okay with the fires? Yeah. So I made a video. I felt like I didn't understand why. I'm like, okay, I get it. You're making a video, everybody. But I went, oh, now I get it. Because you get inundated with messages and you just want to let people know that you're okay.
Yeah.
And so I made the video and then I was rewatching the video to make sure it uploaded correctly. And I went, oh my God, my eyelashes look fantastic. And I was like, thank you, Hello Lash. So y'all use Pink Shade code to get 20% off.
Fire videos and tagging Hello Lash. Look at the devastation. But what's not devastated are these lashes.
Are these lashes. It's like, have you seen the one guy I really like, what is the actor's name? He was on Sabrina. Jake and I covered that show. He's an Australian actor. Luke Cook. He has a really great Instagram. He's really hot. He's he's hilarious though. He has a great Instagram and he has a really great heart. He's doing a lot of stuff for like the volunteer. But he does this, he'll make fun of people's stupid Instagram videos. And so there's this, have you seen the video or TikTok of the guy with his shirt off talking about there's a fire behind him and he's literally just using the fire for a thirst trap? So then like Luke Cook recreates it, but instead he's like in front of a burner in his kitchen. And he's like, so everybody, he's so funny. As an actor, I want to work with him one day because he's such a good, funny improv actor. But
okay, I'm following him.
So I'm not doing that with Hello Lash and my lashes, but y'all, I will say use code. I think it's Pink Shade to get 20% off.
Yeah. True. And the fires, you are okay though, we should say.
We are okay. But we still need the love because more wins are coming to people tonight. So please send us all the love.
And I'm also okay. Thank you for asking, everybody. My aunt was down here because the smoke was so bad. She has lung stuff. She's in Pasadena. So, yeah. So, and she knows, like, I think she said now she knows 10 people who have lost their homes. Like, just my aunt knows 10 people. It's crazy.
No, I think and I'm not kidding, over 20.
It's
so
horrible.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day I learn about someone new. So it's
and I've been posting like places you can donate on our Instagram, Dateline, and I just created an Amazon wish list that goes to this warehouse where they're distributing stuff. It's a really good charity. And great. Mary Payne, from her vacation, donated like $500 worth of stuff.
No, she's been asking me too, because Jake and I Jake especially wants to, Mr. Libra, he has to research the charity to make sure it's a good charity. Yeah. We've been in a little bit of a brain fog I think on Thursday, we only had to record like one thing. I think I just stared at, like, and I'm not kidding, stared at my phone or kind of just stared out the window for like 6 hours because it was just so, I had people that evacuated me the night before. So it was just so emotionally heavy. Like it reminded me a couple of New York, I don't want to take away or piggyback on anybody else's experience, but several New York sissies said, I feel like this is kind of like 9/11 was for us. And I do recognize, like being from Oklahoma, it does remind me of like when we had the Oklahoma City bombing, because my mom was in Oklahoma City working for the government. And so all of us knew someone who died in the bombing or knew someone who knew someone. Yeah. And so it feels this way in LA where we have this connective tissue. But, that binds us, but it also, it's tragic, but in the same way, did you hear that a lot of donation centers don't even need stuff now because SoCal residents, we have just flooded these donation centers with stuff. Which that kind of shit makes me cry. It's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I reached out to like 3 different shelters to foster dogs, and they all said we have enough fosters now because they got hundreds of people volunteering. And I was like, that's incredible.
I can't do that, Kimberly. I can't. Because then I'll adopt a dog, and I don't need a dog right now.
I know, but I know what you're saying because I couldn't get anything done like all week. I was just so distracted and couldn't get anything done. And then I saw this meme that said, your brain is trained to focus on like trauma or crisis over emails. So don't feel badly if you can't focus on your emails right now. And I thought, I get it. I get that.
I get it.
It made me feel better. And you're a professional also in the mental health field, as I like to say.
Wow.
You're trained.
Anymore. You're trained years ago. Now I'm just slopping dick jokes on a comedy podcast.
But whenever I listen to you and Jake and you say something about one of these people on 90 Days, this is my segue, I feel so validated. I go, I didn't have any training. And I said the same thing Matt said.
Well, I think some things are easy to spot.
Everyone can see that Lauren is a sociopath.
Oh, yes. It's very, very clear. Also, I have to say, do you watch Love During Lockup?
Yes.
Can I say that we invoke your name all the time? We just, because of last season, Jake and I just walk around and go, oh, Kimberly, Kimberly. And Jake said, he's like, you have to tell Kimberly that. And I said, okay.
At least it's not Kimberly anymore.
Kimberly, yeah. Whoa.
Oh, I was going to wear my shirt because last time I recorded with Jake when you were out of town, it was Love After Lockup. And I wore my Usman shirt that says Baby Girl Kimberly. And Mary Payne has interviewed her and told her how obsessed I am with her. And now she reached out to me and I pretend like Kimberly's my best friend. No, I was not happy with Joey and Kimberly. I was like, let's call her Kim. Can we just call her Kim? Because I'm just,
I know. And I just love it when her friend all the time is Kimberly again. She's like, well, I'm sorry. I just, Joey, he just said he needed money and I gave it to him. God, I don't know why. She's such a mess. Anyway, but that's a different show. We're talking about B90.
Yeah. Because when I went on your show for your Patreon, I think I told a story I should not have told, and it still haunts me. So I'm not going to repeat that story. You're going to go back and listen. It horrified Jake. So I guess I should be proud. Because the bar
it's hard to do.
It's really hard to do.
It's hard to do. Yeah.
So we are talking about 90 Day The Tell-All Part 1, which Sean calls an unbelievable tell-all event.
I would like to, what are your overall thoughts on this? Because it's a little bit of a different tell-all than we've had previously. Like even the way it starts, like the way the characters are introduced with the music. I feel like it's the most they've ever spent on a tell-all. But what do you think? What did you think watching it?
I enjoyed it. Sometimes the tell-alls I put off watching for a while because I'm just not that excited. Sean took a back seat as usual, because everyone was just going. Everyone was just ganging up on one person at a time.
There was a couple of times where Sean stepped in that I appreciated, like when Lauren started describing when he almost walked off a cliff, and she's like, "Okay, all right."
You have to rein that man in.
You have to.
Who told him that he is charming?
You know what? Someone did. You know what I bet? I bet he was an adorable little boy.
Okay.
I bet he was a really pretty child. And people always told, oh, he's so sensitive, but he's so pretty, Danelle. She's like, I know. And then that kind of stuck with him.
It stuck with him.
I don't know why his mother's name was Danelle. I just decided
that sounds right. I kind of want to meet those people and smack him across the face. It's like going back and killing baby Hitler. You go back and find who told Lauren he was charming. Mm-hmm. So we're getting these opening shots where it's like they're recreating their hero shots and they're doing like B-roll of them walking around the city. They're all
slow
doing
motion, like all the whole thing.
So Lauren is talking to pigeons with that creepy ass smile. No. Brian is prepared to go in guns blazing and prove that Ingrid is the bad guy in the relationship. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Vanya is sticking to the pink and a Vegas showgirl look.
She's got a brand.
Exactly. She should start her own something. Pink eyeshadow company.
She really needs to, between that and like the success of The Last Showgirl right now, there's something in there for her.
Yeah. Or a belly dancing at home belly dancing video.
Like I produced a workout video years ago. Maybe I should reach out to her.
Stop.
I did produce a workout video. I think you can still, maybe you can download it from Amazon. I don't even know if I don't think I've ever talked about that. Kimberly, when you getting out of me?
I'm like Oprah. I get all the secrets.
No, it's called, I used to be streaming on Amazon. I'm going to look it up right now to see if you can do it. But it was called, so my friend, he was like a filmmaker. We were like just bored gay guys. And so we made a workout and it's called Butt Camp. And it's
Are you sure Jake didn't name it?
No, it's not on Amazon anymore. Maybe it's on YouTube. I still have like 20 DVDs that I haven't sold. But it's called
can you you would make so much money doing a raffle or a cameo or something for your top Patreon tier. You get one of those.
It was like we hired these three gorgeous guys, and we just had them in little like Aussie bum shorts, just doing workouts. But all the workouts were tongue in cheek, and then the narrator of the workout was my friend, one of the funniest comedians in Los Angeles. His name is Drew Droege. He's a groundling, so it was just him like in probably and one and two, and he's like, and then he would say like, legs up in the air, like a Saturday night. Like it's the gayest.
Yes.
Like, and is my friend who made up, he's a dancer who made up we're not friends anymore actually, because he was a narcissist. So we're not friends. But anyway, wishing the best. But he came up with all the exercises. So he had an amazing ass. So are the exercises from a personal trainer? Not at all. So, but I had to put on body makeup on shirtless men, which was which I didn't know would have to be. I asked my friend who's a makeup artist, I'm like, how do I put body makeup on him? She's like, really the best way is just kind of wet your hands and then just rub the body makeup with your hands.
Was this to contour muscles or to cover tattoos or
just to make their skin look all less red or less, a little bit more just gorgeous and I mean, literally, I had to have an audition at Madeline Clark's in the Valley where people just had to walk in Clark's. And they had to do some exercises and then they had to take off their shirts. And I remember one guy, he took off his shirt. He didn't know English he didn't understand English very well at the time. He had just moved here I think he had moved from, not Costa Rica, but somewhere in Central America, Guatemala. He just moved from Guatemala. And so he said, we just take off a shirt. He took off a shirt and then he just took off his pants and he's just standing there in the underwear. And I'm like, oh, no. Because I don't want to get sued. But that's the same kind of going, oh my God. Anyway.
That's incredible.
So Buck Camp, it's somewhere out there in the ether.
I can't. Aren't you guys excited? We're going to find those videos.
Mary Payne is going to send me. She's like, what are you guys talking about?
I know.
On
poor
the pod?
Ingrid.
Ginger, get them off the show. Violet. Oh.
One of the contractors guys pooped all over my bathroom. Yeah. That story I could have never heard again. So
I just want somebody hand me my Mio to put in my water. God.
So, okay. So they go backstage. We're back on the reunion. They go backstage and creep number 1, Brian, is trying to mentor creep number 2, Lauren, about his dick falling off.
Yeah.
And the only good thing I can say about Brian, I hate Brian. I can't tell you how much I hate Brian. He does seem to be as baffled by Lauren's behavior as the rest of us. So that's something.
Yes, that is something.
And then Joey is in a velvet suit and thinks that he's super likable, so no one is going to come for him. And we'll see how that goes. He doesn't respect the other guy's opinions at all. So
no.
Same.
No, same.
Niles and Matilda are they're doing their squishy face thing. I think they're trying to trademark that. I don't know how that would work.
I think there is that is going to be their brand.
Yeah, they're very cute. Lauren gives up his seat for Vanya like he's a gentleman and not an aggressively creepy cheater who played with a knife in front of his trans girlfriend and then almost gave her gonorrhea. Tiger Lily and Adnan roll up like Beyonce and Jay-Z.
What a fucking pair of just D-bags. They feel like they are so fucking cool. And I'm just, oh boy.
How would you describe her look to people? Like the headpiece thing is like, I don't know, like Princess Leia in a cult.
Yeah. I would say it is, I think new money trash is a word that comes to my mind because she's from that part. I know where she's from. I've been there. I used to teach voice lessons in Frisco, and Frisco is it's a northeastern suburb of Dallas. 20 years ago, there was nothing. It's just fucking fields. And so it's a lot of new money that has moved in, and people think that Dallas is a very old school money, old oil, like what we think of like the show Dallas and all. That is a lot in Dallas. And these people in Frisco come in and they're like, I think I'm really hot. And so cute.
Do they all talk like Tiger Lily?
That's how I know. My cousin is a chiropractor. Sorry, my Alexa went off. My dad's in it. It goes off sometimes. My dad just wants to be heard. But anyway, my cousin's a chiropractor in Frisco. Really, Thomas Peterson, wonderful chiropractor. But anyway,
he the one that Tiger Lily was not allowed to see because he's a man?
I asked him. I said, "Please tell me you have a client named Tiger Lily," and he texted me back and said, I don't always remember their names, but I feel like that client I would remember. And I was like, yeah, you would. No, unfortunately, she does not see my cousin.
Damn.
I know.
Such a trip. Okay, so he warns all the other people to not come at him. And if they respect him, he'll respect them. We'll see. And then Brian says he's just insecure. And I thought, that's rich.
Jake and I think he's gay.
Adnan?
Yeah.
That scene in the bath with the massaging.
Yeah.
That was so close to his penis. It was groin massaging.
Yeah. It was groin massaging. And I'm very familiar with that. So I know.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it at all.
No, yeah, I would be so nervous. I just got a massage this weekend and the guy got a little too close and I went, oh God, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't that type of masseuse, but still it was like an actual legit massage. But even then I'm like, I want you to walk on my back and make me almost feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to get aroused at all because then.
Oh, no, that happened to me one time with a woman. Well, because
did it shake your whole world?
Oh, no, I wasn't attracted to her at all. I just was like, she was doing the same thing. She was like rubbing, I think, on the inside of my leg. And I think she was like pushing the blood to my groin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all of a sudden I feel the little kernels starting to come to attention. And I'm just sitting there going, and the first thing I thought in my head is like, you're making biscuits with mama, biscuits with mama, biscuits with mama. And I just kept thinking of making biscuits with my mama. It worked, actually. But I was terrified because I never want to disrespect somebody in that profession, you know, because they get like crazy.
Oh, of course.
My dad loved those kind of massages, and that is fine. I'm not judging, but I did not want that.
It was just a physiological response.
Yes, girl, because I'm telling y'all now, if you think your masseuse wants to beat you off or tittle your vajayjay, they don't.
No.
They don't. They've seen them. They don't give a shit. Their hands hurt and their back hurts from giving it. That's all they fucking care about.
Mm-hmm. It's like the women at a strip club. They are pretending to be happy with their job.
Women, but the go-go boys I tip, I know they're not pretending. They're actually in love with me. I just want to make
they really love you.
Okay.
No, they want to take you home.
We can move on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Today's show is sponsored by Roe. Are you ready to lose an average of 15% of your weight faster? Meet the latest offering through Roe. This formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger with less nausea. Your Roe affiliated provider can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. Roe members have support through the process. Plus, you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. That means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms. You guys know I've taken GLP-1 medications for weight loss, and I really wish Roe would have been around when I was navigating this process. The insurance. Look, weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. That to me is win, win, win. Join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Roe to access GLP-1s. Go to ro.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade. Go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% of weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight patients with a weight-related condition on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise.
So, okay, we start the tell-all, and Sean announces that Renee and Chidi will not be joining us. We wish them all the best.
We wish them the best. They can fuck the fuck off.
We wish them all the chickens and mental health care services that can be provided.
Yeah. You know it's bad when Matt Sharp says you're too delulu for the tell-all.
Seriously, how long has Angela stayed around?
Hey, Angela, Paul, Carini.
Yeah, Big Ed.
Yeah.
So Tiger Lily.
Literally, Paul committed arson, and they still let him on the tell-all. That's something.
We saw a mugging on 90 Days.
Yeah,
and he ran into the woods. And this show's never been nominated for an Emmy.
And
That's not right.
It's not right. And she's Paul.
He's in the woods now. He belongs to the woods.
Y'all can go back and listen to episodes of Pink Shade. It's on there.
Go back. So Tiger Lily and Adnan have a baby. Very cute.
It's
boy.
a cute
Did
baby.
they say his name? No, Adnan just kept calling him Buddy. Mm-hmm. So Lauren and Faith, this was I'm upset. So, and I kept hearting her messages on Instagram, and then she followed me back, and I said, "Oh my gosh, we love you on Pink Shade," and now because I thought she broke up with him, but then they say they're still engaged, and I screamed, "Dear God, no," in my apartment. And then he says he shipped her a ring and drug addicts picked through the box. Some sort of strange story that everyone
This is a thing, because, our producer, Christina, is from the Philippines.
Okay.
So she talked about it is like you get these, but everybody knows that like people buy these. It's like you get this cheap type of shipping in the Philippines. So it's a very cheap way to send things.
Okay.
But everybody knows that you don't really know if that's ever going to make it.
Gotcha.
But of course it's Lauren. It's like the cheapest way to ship stuff. So the fact that he put a ring in that is stupid. She theorizes, and I agree, he never sent a ring. He's just saying that he did, and it was stolen.
Yeah. No, that actually totally checks out.
Yeah.
But then Faith doesn't consider them to be engaged. So then I got a sliver of hope, but I'm clinging to it until next week because we still don't know.
I think she's back with him. But
I think she's back with him, and it breaks my heart.
I know.
All I want is good things for her.
I know.
So Sunny and Vea, she's lost a lot of weight because she had gallstones, but her throat hurt.
I don't know a lot about gallstones. She says, I lost something like 50 pounds. And doesn't look like she lost 50 pounds. I will say this, as someone who has had extensive plastic surgery and has researched it thoroughly. She did get an upper bleph, 100%. She got an upper blepharoplasty, which looks great. Whoever did her work did a fantastic job. She got an upper bleph, and I'm pretty sure she either had filler put into her chin or she got an actual chin plant.
I agree.
Implant. I think also she got some filler around her cheeks and stuff too. I would say the work looks great.
It does. Mary Payne kept saying she didn't have work done. She just took off those eyelashes. And I said, you're
Wrong.
Crazy. I'm ashamed to even know you.
I know nothing Mary Payne?
I know nothing about plastic surgery. And I could tell that's a total new face who dis. And she has finally come around I think last week. We argued about it for like a month. And finally she came around and she goes, okay, I think she might have had work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you could tell in her talking head. So mainly, I'm less concerned with her weight and more concerned with her hair.
So, well, I texted you, those pigtails are a choice.
They're what kind of choice do you think what is it saying about you when you wear your hair like that, Kimberly?
It says, I think they take Apple Pay in an African market.
Yeah.
I feel so badly for her. She's had such a rough life.
Oh, she was in a cult. I mean, but probably.
These choices. Is that look in two high ponies with the pieces by your face?
Uh-huh. I don't know.
She sounds like Minnie Mouse, and now she looks like Minnie Mouse. It looks like she has two ears on the 2 ears.
You know what? And if anybody would have a fascination with Disney of this cast, it would be Vea.
Yeah, if you said who's the Disney adult,
I want to go to a place where it's happy and no one's going to tell me I'm a bad girl. That's what she's just wanting in her life.
Yep, I could see her at Disneyland with a fanny pack.
Oh, yes,
and let her have it. She's had a rough life.
She's had a rough life.
God bless. Go to Disney. Have fun.
Yeah, get away from Roy and from awful Sunny.
Exactly. So Vanya and Bojo, nothing happens with them in the intro. And then Joey and Magdalena, we call her Magdalena. You guys call her
we call her Magma.
Yeah. Joey admits to Sean and everyone that he still can't pronounce her name. That he has been saying it wrong.
I did love when Sean, he's like, well, and our family called it. And Sean actually, I wish I remembered, I wrote notes. I was trying to see where she actually, she actually did say to him, but you never got her name right, correct? Yeah. She like literally, she had moments where she really went in, and I went, thank you, Sean, for asking that.
Yeah, because he was trying to say, well, they say it like this, but that also wasn't the way he was saying it. It's not like he was saying it the way they say it in her country.
Yeah, because he said, I don't know. He said, because he said they call her something different. He's like, maybe I wasn't saying it correctly. And then Sean went, no, you weren't.
No, you weren't. You never were.
You never were.
Magdalena looked like a totally different person to me also, but
darked her hair, yeah.
Yeah. And I think her video quality is not as good. So
it's not good. Poodle didn't like her look. I liked it, actually. I feel like it goes more as a woman who owns a dog who will bite your penis.
That's a specific vibe. It's like cottage core, dog biting penis core.
Yes.
So Brian and Ingrid, at least they were still broken up. So I was like, I have 50-50 now. Of people I was really hoping that would be broken up, and they're both in new relationships. So God help that woman.
The woman. We don't give a shit. Well, yeah, God help the woman that's with Brian.
Yeah. And is she...
Do you think she is probably from Brazil?
I don't think he's given up. I think he is a sex tourist who has some sort of fetish.
100% she is.
And yeah.
It's very telling as Brian, as we go along this tell-all, the way he reacts to the other cast members, you can tell that he just has been doing this sexual tourism, money, US. You can tell he knows all the ins and outs of that game. He
is so xenophobic towards everyone, especially the women that are from another country. He automatically thinks they are scamming the guy for money.
Yeah, he does.
I can't. And he has the weirdest takes. Like, so occasionally I'll be like, okay, Brian. And then I'm like, back to, fuck you, Brian. What was that take? I hate him. Okay. So Lauren and Faith, we start with them. She says they're getting back together, but they're not engaged. And then Kimberly started crying in her apartment. And then Faith starts crying. And then Vanya says, do you really love him? Like him, Lauren? Do you love him? Or is it just like you want to be loved? And Faith says, yeah, I just want to be loved. And it's hard because I'm a lady boy and no one will accept me as I am. And it's just so tragic. Also, if you're Lauren and you're hearing this, that it might not be you. It's just she wants to be loved. I mean, that's why he loves her, because he's looking for his own specific thing.
Well, we found he really just she just literally almost fell in his lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she...
Can we raise her self-esteem from afar? Can we all collectively come
her
together?
Sister, her other trans sister isn't going to help. Remember, the sister was like, you have to hold on to him. He's the only one.
He has gonorrhea, almost gave it to you. Not a deal breaker.
Not a deal breaker.
He's homeless, not a deal breaker. He's American. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean... There's a couple of guys that said, hey, I have gonorrhea. And I was like, yeah, I got antibiotics. Let's do this.
But they had other qualities.
8 inches of qualities.
So they didn't, and it wasn't a leaky penis situation because...
No, I draw the line. I do draw if it's leaking penis, I draw the line.
Do you remember when he said sludge? He used the word sludge. I died.
It was gross.
So
I hate him so much.
So then he makes my skin crawl, like legitimately.
Yeah.
So then Niles says what we've all been screaming. Lauren has told you who he is. Believe him. Yes.
Now, yes. Not y'all. And I agree with this. Jake said seems like Niles watched a lot of tell-alls. And so he's coming in like he's with his autism. He's like, this is how I'm going to be. Yeah. He said it almost seems a little bit like masking. And I said, maybe it is, but I'm fucking here for it.
100%.
I'm here for it.
I want him to sit next to Sean and co-host the reunion.
Because he really had some good zingers because there were some times where he really cut out the bullshit and just told Lauren exactly who he was.
Exactly. So Niles says, I would have walked away after the knife thing, the knife play, all of that. And so then Sean loves to do these informal polls. Raise your hand if you think this couple's not going to make it. So she says, raise your hand if Faith should have walked away for good. And this was my barometer for who I like on the stage. So I was paying very close attention.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiger Lily and Adnan do not raise their hands.
Tiger Lily and Adnan, it's not that they're trying to be cruel.
No.
They don't think about anybody but themselves.
Yeah.
They're two huge narcissists.
Yeah. I think
that's all that they care about is just, and that's what she's resigned herself to. I don't feel sorry for her. She either knew, I think she's smarter than she lets on. There was one.
Yes, I agree.
In one episode, she actually let that voice gonna drop. And she said something in normal. And I went, oh, yeah, she's playing us all. She just wants to be a housewife. She has her young exotic boy toy that she can troll her ex-husband with, because yes, her ex-husband's rich, but he's not young and cute. And so I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think she's that stupid. For all the things she could have Googled before she married this man. I just don't even feel sorry for her after all that.
No, she's actually a little bit of a troll.
Yeah, I think she is. She's trolling.
She's trolling him too, though, with his choices and his religion and the thing. I don't understand why you have to wear shorts and I didn't know my legs. No,
that was my favorite. It was every week watching her realize that things aren't fair for women in this world.
Wait a minute, it's the same for me. I'm like, girl, you don't get it. It's not the same
for women in this world. Why am I just hearing about this, baby?
You dumb bitch. Do a Google or at least Bing.
Exactly. So Sean brings up the knife, and Brian, first hot take of the night, thought Faith was overreacting.
Well, you know, again, what's a knife when your wife put out a hit on you and you got shot in the back and paralyzed?
That's a very good point.
He's over there like the Godfather, like, yeah, it's just a knife. Yeah, that's fine.
Really good point. So Niall says, I think, Lauren, that you knew how that looked and you like to do things just to make people mad. You are like a shit stirrer and you're having fun with all this. And Lauren says, why would I want to make people mad? I'm an assistant. And then I pictured, if I had all the money in the world, would I hire him as an assistant, or would I rather like return my Amazon packages myself? Yes, I would. Because
yes, you would.
Can you imagine that face, that smirk, handing you coffee every morning? Like, I would think he poisoned it.
I would too. He does give me, this is dating myself. Half of the listeners aren't going to know this reference at all. I do feel like he's giving me Murphy Brown assistant vibes.
Yes. Yes. And he has a 1 episode arc, maybe 2, but he tries to kill her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then everyone laughs and then she gets another assistant. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then Lauren starts, I cannot understand even what he's talking about half the time. He says, I have a chat log and it says that I have sex with bleep and bleep. I have sex with people, and it got misconstrued and Faith got confused because he loves to blame Faith for this. Mm-hmm. Faith says she doesn't remember if he said he was having sex with other women. I think that's a lie. And then we bring out his friend Esther, who I didn't know people were still named Esther.
I didn't either. Enabler Esther.
Mm-hmm. And
an ex-girlfriend, remember?
Ex-girlfriend, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't know.
Already, you can't be that smart of a woman if you've had sex with, or person, if you've had sex with Lauren.
Willingly, repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then still hang out with him. Mm-hmm. So she and probably gives him money. And 100%. So she defends Lauren and says Faith never told him she wanted to be exclusive until he got there and got the STD. But then she kind of walks it back and says she knew that Faith did not understand that he was not being monogamous. And she apologizes to Faith for not forcing Lauren to clarify the situation because she knew that Faith didn't understand.
That means, and if they talked about it, it means they both knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So Niles tells Lauren to walk off a cliff. Like, would you walk off a cliff if, you know? And Lauren goes, I did once. And then Sean Robinson is like, boys.
Boys. Well, he does this because, and if you want to hear more detail, I kind of went in on this on our show, Reality Gaze, available wherever you listen to podcasts. But this is what a sociopath and a narcissist does is, again, y'all, read The Sociopath Next Door.
I've heard you talk about that book so many times. It's been on my reading list. I'm going to read it this year.
You're never going to want to meet a stranger man again. And it's not just men. Don't.
I watch Dateline for a living.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I already don't want to date. So if I watch that, I'd never, Lord. But he does that to distract you. And because what a sociopath and a narcissist does, y'all, is a lot of people say it's gaslighting. It's actually, that's not the definition of a gaslight. Gaslighting is really when they make you feel like you're crazy for thinking. There is that. He does do that. Mm-hmm. But this is a technique of distraction. If I tell you something so ridiculous you ask me a question about, are you cheating on me? And then I go into a story about walking off a cliff. 10 minutes later, it's kind of like probably poor Jake after he's heard an Oklahoma story for about 10 minutes. He just kind of wonders, what did I say to get me in this situation? I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't remember what I was mad about.
I don't remember what I was mad about. All I know is you've got this weird... And so this is a technique that people like this to use. And if you see, he tries to use it repeatedly on this tell-all already.
And Sean wasn't falling for it.
No, good. That was, I do feel like, yes, we wanted to go in more, and she's actually, I think she evacuated, but she is safe, by the way.
Oh, good.
But I do feel, I give her kudos for that, and that I've done, before I did podcast stuff, I've done a lot of hosting stuff. And so I've been in these situations where it is difficult to corral people like this.
Absolutely.
And she's able to do it. There's people like Angela, of course, she can't corral them because they're horrible. But anyway, so if you have that in your life, y'all, you feel like, wait, my friend Jonathan does that a lot. Maybe limit our time with Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan is bad news.
Because he might end up
hear his story about like how he invented trains or something.
No, you don't want Kimberly to do a podcast about you because you're dead.
No, I mean, I would be excited because it sounds like a good story, but it would be sad. And I'm always looking for a good Dateline episode that we haven't covered, but it does sound really sad. So, Esther admits to all of us that Lauren is exhausting. And I was like, yeah, we know.
Water's wet, honey.
We are all exhausted.
Water's wet and Poodle's a slut. We know these things.
So Lauren says, okay, his one-way ticket to the Philippines wasn't to see Faith. It was part of a pyramid scheme. And I thought Vanya's head was going to explode.
Yeah, Vanya's like, what? Yeah.
Vanya keeps going, like she just can't. I know, I realize we're not a visual medium right now, but she's just like, she's waving her hands in the air. She's just like, the blood keeps rushing to her head.
Yes. She's flabbergasted.
That's what all of us are.
Today's show is sponsored by Roe. Are you ready to lose an average of 15% of your weight faster? Meet the latest offering through Roe. This formula from Eli Lilly hits not one, but two hormones to curb hunger with less nausea. Your Roe affiliated provider can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. Roe members have support through the process. Plus, you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home. That means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms. You guys know I've taken GLP-1 medications for weight loss, and I really wish Roe would have been around when I was navigating this process. The insurance. Look, weight loss faster, confidence higher, price cheaper. That to me is win, win, win. Join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Roe to access GLP-1s. Go to roe.co/pinkshade to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/pinkshade. Go to roe.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. 15% of weight loss is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or with overweight patients with a weight-related condition on 5 milligrams of medication and when paired with diet and exercise.
feeling. So we get the full story. It wasn't exactly a pyramid scheme. I think he's thinking it was like an MLM, but I don't think it was like that. But he met another trans woman who tricked him, and he kind of fell for her, and she told him to come and be with her romantically. It turns out she wasn't actually trans at all, and she took all his money. And so this lady then ghosts him, and he starts talking to Faith around the same time. And he thought, well, I already have this one-way ticket to the Philippines. I'll use it to see this new chick, Faith. It's kind of like that one guy who went to somewhere to meet one girl on 90 Day Fiance, and then she wasn't into him. And so he checked out his like Rolodex and went to the second girl. Do you remember that?
Oh, he went down to Mexico.
Yeah.
It was, and he ended up doing, was it Ricky?
I think it was Ricky.
Can't believe that.
Where did you pull that from?
Holy shit.
I think that's right.
Oh my God, it was. He didn't go to Mexico. He went to Colombia because he had another girlfriend named Melissa, but not Golden Retriever. But then he met Jimena. Wow.
Good call.
I can't believe that I freaking remembered that.
I'm so proud of you.
And
with the fires, you were able to focus and pull that somehow.
Yeah, that was like season 2 of Before the 90 Days.
And he literally just went, okay, she's not into me. Who's next?
Yeah. I mean, kind of what Vanya did.
Yeah. But not her fault.
Not her fault.
She was
And it's different because we like her.
We like her.
Yeah.
So Vanya asked the question we've all been asking to Lauren, which is, do you love Faith for her or because she's trans and from the Philippines? And this has been your dream. And he says, well, she's beautiful and she's also hardworking because I am homeless, even though I have 3 jobs. So I need to be with a hardworking woman.
I need to move out of this country or the U.S. because I don't want to pay any more child support.
1000%. He took his children camping once, Matt. Like, that's all he keeps saying. I took them camping 3 years ago.
Okay.
You want a medal? So it's been 11 months since he's seen Faith, and they only broke up for like a week before she took him back. During that week, he went back to Miss Gonorrhea and had sex with her.
Yeah. The throat gonorrhea comes back. Yeah, sure. But now they're still talking. And he thinks they're engaged.
But she doesn't. She thinks they're back together, kind of. But
she doesn't have the ring. And we get the whole ring in the box.
Yeah.
All that bullshit. Y'all. Yeah, he's never said
so Faith tries to just think about the positives and not think about the fact that he went back to the gonorrhea lady.
It's really
I feel
sad
so bad for her. I'm glad we don't know her name because forever to me, she is Miss Gonorrhea.
She's gonorrhea. You know what? Gonorrhea Gina. I don't know what her name is. I
got in so much trouble from a Pink Shade listener who said I was shaming STDs. And I'm like, I'm just shaming Lauren. Because
no, we're shaming. Oh, please. I've had gonorrhea. I'm not shaming. Y'all, I got HPV and I'm proud of it because I sat on some dicks for it.
I earned that HPV.
I earned syphilis, bitch. I earned that shit. Actually, I've never had that one. But look, we are not, I don't think, we are not sex shaming at all. It is the fact that it is more what we're shaming is how Lauren uses it to uses it as a weapon to somehow make him more of a vulnerable person so people will have sympathy on him and give him more what he wants.
Yeah.
And that is the sickness of it because there's this, with narcissism, there's grandiose narcissism and things like that, but there's also this vulnerable narcissism and he relies on that a lot. So Faith will feel sorry for him. And so I'm sure we didn't see as much, but I'm sure he went, trying to make her feel bad for him that he got gonorrhea from this woman.
And my second big issue is that he knew he had symptoms and didn't get tested and was going to sleep with Faith like night 1.
Yeah.
That's gross.
That's gross. That's gross. And not gross. It's gross because not because you have an STI. It's gross because you know it.
And you could willingly pass it along to someone you love. Yeah. So Faith, we get to the gonorrhea montage where he's smiling and talking about it, and that cameraman keeps zooming in on his penis and his shorts.
Oh, that was great. The gonorrhea montage. I'll say that sentence 5 times. God, that's great.
And then they did include the leaky penis quote, but they cut the sludge. But I'm bringing it up anyways. So
it's back.
Sorry. And then we get a deleted scene where Lauren tells Faith that he drinks pee. And he doesn't explain like if it's for health benefits. I would guess he's doing it to save money on bottled water.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, Fiji is expensive.
Yeah.
God, but urine, cheap.
And
again, it's one of those things of let me distract you with this thing over here.
Yeah, it's
then
that
you don't notice it.
Factor.
Let me shock you, and then you don't actually see what my other hand. It's like a magician. You don't see what my other hand is doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Niles says, Lauren, there are 5 types of people in this world, and you are the last 2 that I can't stand: stupid and evil. And you do everything for a reaction to make people mad. And then Adnan screams, "Can you see why I didn't shake hands with you?"
That was funny.
That was funny. And they're all coming at him.
I want to know Niles' list. Like, are they happy, good, have one hand and will give me money to get married?
Yeah, Mr. Ark is his own.
Mr. Ark.
Here,
and then evil and
Yeah, it's evil and stupid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're all coming at him, including Vea, who finally speaks and says, "You don't love her. You're just breaking her
It's
heart."
Like she woke up and went, "Oh, yeah, there's a camera on me. I got to say something."
Sonny has not said a word, though, this whole time.
He is
not.
No.
And then asshole Brian accuses Faith of being a gold digger, using Lauren to get money for her family. I didn't even know there was money because when we met him, he was cooking crawfish in his friend's bathroom.
In Finn's bathroom, yes. This was gross, and I hate Brian. And I hated, though, that we brought up because, it made me go, has Faith been playing us a little bit too? Because we act like poor Faith. She's just looking for her Disney prince, and she chose Lauren. But no, he's been giving her, they said like several thousands of dollars.
He says 8 to 10. She says no. And then he starts to do the math, which kind of added up to like maybe 5. I still don't know where this money's coming and why it's not going to his children. But
no.
Brian, she says, no, I'm very grateful that he's so generous. And Brian is such a condescending douchebag. And he goes, I'm sure you are. Like, I hate him.
I gotta spray my protection spray. We're just talking about him. And I'm like, okay, continue.
So Faith says, no, it's not that much money. And Adnan says he's rich because maybe he's never seen the show. Doesn't know that Lauren
doesn't know. No,
I don't know.
And Lauren says they only watch his segments and moves on.
1000%. Lauren says, I eat out of the garbage and I quit eating in general so that I could send money to her. Okay. I bet he does eat out of the garbage. I've seen those extreme cheapskate shows where people do eat out of the garbage.
I bet he does. But again, it's woe is me.
Yes.
I'm doing so much vulnerable. Feel sorry for me so that way I can take advantage of you.
Yeah. And then he says he's been sending her boxes of cleaning supplies. Like, how much cleaning supplies
they can't buy Lysol in the Philippines?
I don't understand. And Brian says, see, she doesn't want to lose access to those boxes. Shut up, Brian.
And I bet you he's sending cleaning supplies because I bet he's just stealing them from the TJ Maxx he works at and shipping to her.
Exactly. So Joey says he might be helping her financially, but emotionally this girl is destroyed. So it's not worth it. And I thought, good take, Joey.
Yeah, good take, Joey. Yeah, he had some good takes this episode.
And then he jokes, did she send you pee in return, like an exchange program? And then Lauren says something gross. And then I can't believe I'm saying this. They all start arguing about if squirting is pee. Sorry, Joni, if I got my mom to start listening to Pink Shade, and now she's gonna have to ask me questions about what that means.
Kimberly, why are you talking about squirting?
She doesn't know what squirting is. She doesn't even know. I'll tell her it's something else. I'll tell her
really
it's like
butchered it probably on our show, but
she loves your show, but she has no idea what you're talking about half the time.
You know, nothing wrong with two gay men talking about how women squirt. I mean, well, I went to it in detail, but when I was getting my master's in psych, we at my human sexuality class, which was a great class. It was co-taught by a woman. She actually used to be an actor. She played Helen Hunt's best friend on Mad About You.
Oh, yeah.
The brown hair brunette. Her name's Lisa Pencil. Amazing actor, but also now a wonderful therapist here in Los Angeles. But she was my teacher along with another woman who was a trans woman. So it was a great human sexuality class. But like we had to do projects, and one girl did a project about women squirting, and she had a video like showing. And when I saw this, it's like somebody would have told me the Jolly Green Giant was real. I was like, ho, 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 what the fuck? It was amazing. I was like, men can't do that. Yes, it was. Yes, it was like the first time you saw a ram just like hop up a mountain, and you're like, how'd you do that? Oh my God. And then you get FOMO. I want to jump up a mountain. I want to squirt.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it was amazing, but that's really all I remember about it. Poodle knew less about it than I did, but you know,
I know very little about it as well.
It's fine. I say Google it, y'all.
Yeah, Google it. I love just Vanya is like, no, it's not pee. And Lauren's like, yes, it is pee. And then Sean Robinson is like, this is where my career dies.
As Jake says, this is where she went, oh, I'm going to have to talk to Brother Richardson this Sunday. Oh, Jesus be with me, Jesus. Because Brother Richardson goes to Sean, I saw that tell-all. I know. Sister Robinson it's bad, y'all. It is, y'all. There's a lot of prayer that Sean has to do after these tell-alls.
Oh my God. I loved that she had us move on though. Normally I'm like, no, don't move on, Sean. We're just getting to the juicy part. And she's like, let's move on. And I thought, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. What is the 102 that is on Lauren's hand? It's the number of STDs he's had.
Maybe. I don't know.
Number of couches.
Maybe it was another tattoo someone gave him.
Yeah, a poke and stick.
They banged in apartment 102.
Okay. So Vanya and Bojo, we see clips of Bojo telling Vanya that they're just friends and pretending that he didn't say I love you to her. And she has the receipts and he laughs and thinks, oh, silly Bojo, I'm just so funny.
This guy just wants to be a reality star.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. He has watched so many reruns of Perfect Strangers that's what he believes comedy is.
Yeah, he's bulky.
He's bulky. He's like, I can be bulky. He wants to be the next bulky, go to the US. He wants to reboot Perfect Strangers. He's imagining it's him and Timothy Chalamet, and they're going to be in a sitcom together, a Perfect Strangers with Bozo. I call him Bozo.
Yeah.
Because he almost makes me angrier than any of these men. And that's saying something, because he does the thing that a lot of, men do this to women, period, but we see it in reality shows so much. But I hate it when women are labeled as crazy because the guy's that, quote, nice guy who never wants to have a spine and actually say what they fucking feel in life. Yeah. But they use these little things of like, well, I told you when I was there so soon, I was being a stand-up guy. No, you weren't. You were love bombing her all this time before. And now you act like this is like, where you thought it was going to be a love story from like Back to the Future. Now you went, oh, wait, this is not what, because I think he got the ick from her. And just, can Vanya be needy? Does she have a little bit of Darcy in her? Yes.
Yes.
And I think that icked him out. And then but he's so, like when he said, well, I ended it because she was out of my league. And I went, fuck you. No,
Yeah.
you were just you thought, again, I said this, but you think she was going to be like Beverly D'Angelo in National Lampoon's Vacation movies and call you Sparky.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Live in the real world, you idiot.
No, he is. He's in this
That's why I hate him.
fantasy. Mm-hmm.
Lauren, we know. Brian, we see the slithering snake, but it's almost Bojo has way more insidiousness to it.
It's true because he acts like such a nice guy. And so he's one of those nice guys that deep is not. And he's playing women. And
yes.
Yeah, he's in this fantasy where he's a professional basketball player. He's in the YMCA rec league and lives.
He's in the fucking
mom.
rec league. He's lied to her about that.
Yeah.
He's fucking 5'8". No you're not going to be a basketball. Yeah. Total. Yeah. I forgot about that. He's such a liar. I heard him.
So then Brian comes at Vanya, which is another terrible take, and says that she gave up on the relationship. Tell me you didn't watch the show.
I hate him.
I hate him. So then Lauren calls him Bozo the Clown, and he gets a few pity laughs, but not from me.
Not from me.
Because no. So Bojo says, we didn't do anything physical because I thought she was out of my league and I was trying to be respectful. Then Vanya's cousin comes out and Adnan is like, welcome. He's the mayor of the tell-all.
Yeah, it's like he's the mayor of tell-all. Yes, hello, welcome to my tell-all.
Yeah.
That's kind of think it is.
So she wants to know why Bojo didn't try. And he says, I tried. And they're like, for like a day. You tried for one day. She flew around the world and took 3 weeks off of her 18 jobs to come, and you tried for a day.
Yes.
And then Bojo brings up Adam Sandler movie.
He's
anger
like,
management.
yes, it's like anger management. He can't kiss the girl in public.
What?
And he's like,
get this guy a
now
Netflix
I'm like Kevin
account.
McAllister, just alone.
Yeah. I think he has a VCR.
One.
Like, is there a Blockbuster there in Croatia? Where is he?
Redbox. He loves the Redbox. He goes every day to the Redbox.
And his mom is like, Bojo, you have to grow up. And when Vanya said failure to launch, when she came on Pink Shade, it was so accurate. How he is just one of those men who is just stuck in this teenagerhood where his mom's doing his laundry.
Yes, he is never going to grow up.
Yeah. Now, Joey thinks that Bojo has a secret girlfriend, and that's why he was being like this. What did you think?
I think that was a great take of Joey when he said that, because even Vanya went exactly. I think he didn't want to do anything public because the way he talked about it, he was clearly still in love with this woman.
100, absolutely.
Yeah, he's totally like, he says all the time, she is my Rachel.
What? She's my Rachel? No, I think that's too current.
That's too current. I'm
like,
sorry.
She's my Winnie to my Kevin. What's his
Kevin?
From Wonder Years.
Who was it? She is my Suzanne Plachette, and I'm her Bob Newhart.
There we go. So Vanya,
what other podcast do we get a Suzanne Plachette reference? You're welcome, Bunkies. You're fucking welcome.
All the young Bunkies have no idea. We lost them at Rachel. They have no idea.
Is Suzanne Plachette alive? And Bob, I hope not, because we just killed Linda Lavin.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. We brought her up, and then she died 4 days later.
Oh, that's the worst.
Suzanne Plachette is dead, and I don't know about
Bob Newhart's dead, right?
Okay, we're good. They're both already passed.
Thank God. Rest in peace.
Thank God.
So Vanya says the ex-girlfriend reached out to her and said, Vanya, when did you start talking to Bojo? Because he was going to propose to me, but then I broke up with him first. And then I think he was talking to you at the same time. So I feel like I was emotionally cheated on. And Bojo said I would never sit on two chairs and there was no mixing of relationships. And someone says, but you didn't even feel romantically about Vanya, so maybe you wouldn't consider it to be.
That was Magda.
Finally, good for her. She spoke up.
I think she called it out that he never thought of her as a girlfriend. So he's trying to parse his words. If you watch him very carefully, say, well, I never said that. He's really talking around it.
Yeah, he really is trying to appear to be the good guy. and promote his acting reality show. I don't his social media, whatever.
Yeah.
So now he's Kevin McAllister. Then he just keeps making excuses and word salad. And then he says, I'm 2 hours late for a meeting. And I thought, is it for the basketball league?
And Sean even says, at 10 o'clock at night where you are? And he's like, yes, I have a very, very important meeting. And whenever he did the peace sign,
he kept saying 2 hours. I'm 2 hours late.
Yeah, he keeps doing that.
The peace sign. And then it would go to the balloons, the celebratory balloons.
Which just happened before Kimberly and I recorded, actually. We had balloons. It
was almost as ill-timed as when it happens on our live streams and I'm talking about someone's gruesome murder and then they go off and it's very embarrassing. I'm like, I swear I'm not celebrating.
And they're like, and then she died. Fireworks.
Yeah. No. And Vanya's so annoyed. It's like he's celebrating.
Yes. He says, I have a meeting about cinematography.
What?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
She did have a good line. She said, she goes, a meeting with a vampire, 10 p.m.
She said the vampire. And then Vanya says, he doesn't have a job. So what kind of a meeting does he have?
And then he just blows everyone kisses and leaves the screen.
Yep.
He pulls a Inky. And then Adnan gets down on the floor and stands or sits in front of the monitor and is screaming, what is the reason? Why won't you be with Vanya?
And I'm like, you can't look out the TV. That's not how the technology works, bro. Right. That's not where the camera is.
And they all debate that maybe he has a girlfriend coming over. And that's what's happening.
I think that could be true.
Yeah. Do you ever think he might be gay?
I don't think so. I think he's, it's almost, no, I don't get that from him. But I also don't think I just don't think he's into real people. I think he just wants like a
fantasy.
Yeah. A fantasy sitcom movie life.
Yeah. I think that's right. So that was me
cinesexual
for a long time.
Is that what we're going to call that? A cinesexual?
Cinesexual. I love that.
Yeah. I just made that up right now.
That was me for the longest time. I eventually grew out of it in my 30s and he still hasn't.
That was a little slow, but I'll give it to you, Kimberly. Yeah. That's fine.
I'm a very late bloomer. So I was like, I had posters on my wall of all the Prince William and, all Dean Cain and all my fantasy boyfriends.
Jordan Catalano.
Yes. And I was like, I don't need a real boyfriend. I have all these fantasy boyfriends.
Yeah. It's like when every time a gay guy talks about his wife in Canada, you're like, all right. Well, my girlfriend Sherelle, Mama, I met her at Baptist camp, but Sherelle's got to live in Canada because she's taking care of her dying daddy, Mama. Oh, Wardell, that's so sad, but good for you. You got a girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
They have
Mama, stand still so I can hem your skirt. That's somebody's life.
Yeah. They own it 100%. They have those AI boyfriends now. And I feel like I would have been prey to that like 20 years ago. I would have paid good money to have an AI boyfriend. And I would name him Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, boy. Well, you're definitely too old for him.
Yeah, I know. So Tiger Lily and Adnan, we find out that Adnan took back the power of attorney, or he says he did.
Mm-hmm. Which we had an attorney, Sissy, who said really wouldn't have done that because it was in a different country. She said if she wasn't putting him on the same bank accounts and things in the U.S., she said it really wouldn't have a lot of impact.
That's what so it really was just his business. Whatever this business is that we still know nothing about, where he's a model, but he has a business and he's a businessman.
He's a businessman, yes.
Yeah. So she caved on the post-nup, though, I think is what it seems to be.
Yes. She caved on the post-nup. I think things changed once she found out she was pregnant, too. Yeah. Very much so. I also don't think she's as rich as she says she is.
I agree.
A lot of, again, it's a lot of time. And Jake brought up, well, maybe she has money, but the money is child support and not
she
her
doesn't
money.
have access for it. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, with that watch that she was pretending to buy in the first episode for 20 grand, we never saw that watch again.
Yeah, we never saw that watch again. She was just pretending. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
totally.
So then Cruz comes out from the glam squad and Sean compliments his style. And I said, don't encourage him, Sean.
Don't encourage him. His hair is at least better.
It's better than it was before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Cruz thinks they rushed into getting married and having a child. Yes, we all do. Tiger Lily doesn't think she rushed anything. She knew who he was before she married him because she analyzed his handwriting that one time.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
He knows him deeply.
I forgot, I talked about how a woman at the church, the Catholic church I grew up in, she would always analyze seniors' handwriting as your senior trip. She even started a handwriting religious business called Hand to God for a little bit, where where Miss Fiala, Carolyn Fiala, you could go and get your handwriting done.
And what would she tell you about yourself?
She told me, the thing I remember is I did my handwriting. She told me that I was, I think, orderly. I liked things clean. She said that she said something like, you're meant to be in the public in front of people.
Okay.
And then she also said, and you need to make money because you like nice things.
Okay.
I think all of that is true.
That's great. Good for her. She sounds better than some of the people we've seen on this show.
Yeah, not all. I don't need a nice car, park on the street. I'm fine with my Mazda, but I don't like a cheap bottle of wine. Mary Payne can attest to that. We like a nice wine.
I would rather get a reading from that handwriting lady than Ashley and Manuel.
Well, she died really early of cancer. So
poor lady.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can't get a reading from her.
Sorry, Southern stories.
That's so sad. She sounds like she was good at it.
It was great. So, had a crush on her son. What was his? You know what? We're going down a rabbit hole. Keep me focus. Sorry, keep going.
Did you say you were gay in the reading?
Yeah. No, I think that was probably assumed. But it was. I know.
So then Vanya starts asking questions, and I love Vanya, by the way. Mary Payne and I discussed who will be the one to come at all these asshole men, and I said Vanya, because she is a feminist and she will go to town for these other women, like Jasmine does at the tell-alls.
Yeah, we love her. Jake had the best conversation with her when he met. He enjoyed talking to her the most, so we love her too. We just don't ever interview anybody on our shows because
I know, but that would be fun. So Vanya's asking questions. Adnan is rudely interrupting her. Like, how dare this woman have opinions? Mm-hmm. It's really triggering to him. And then we see all the clips of Tiger Lily learning for the first time that there's a double standard for men and women. And he tells her mind is so small, which that triggers Vanya. And she says, wow. And then Adnan goes, wow. He's just mocking her and shaking his head. And
it was like she said, wow. And he went, wow. Girl. He's so gay. He also, I love Vanya. I love that she's coming at him. And this is his faith. This is, so she acts like, I can't believe he's treating women this way. And I'm like, well, this is how some people that are Muslim, this is how they interact with their spouse. We've seen it. Speaking of another gay, we've seen Nicole and Miss Mahmood. Mm-hmm. We've seen who else we just had? Somebody else who was of Muslim faith and their girl. Well, even with because it is interesting when Sonny talks about it, because I think why it's still probably the Learning Channel, as someone who grew up in a landlocked state of Oklahoma, where I didn't even know anybody hardly of any faith until I went to college, besides people that were Christian. But, there's different, we see how Sonny, his faith plays out differently in his life.
Yeah.
And Adnan plays different. And we get that clip with the mom, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just think Vanya does need to acknowledge that this is it's not because he's, quote, just being mean to her.
Right. I think he does use the faith and the culture a bit as an excuse for how he is misogynistic. With Sonny, I felt more sympathy for him after meeting his dad, and
his terrible father.
It's terrible, and he's a product of that messed up, and so he has been taught these whole things his whole life, and so it's you have to acknowledge that piece of it for sure. And have respect, but also, maybe nicely challenged, but you're not getting anywhere. At some point I would have stopped. Like, you're not getting there with Adnan.
Even if you don't respect it, you need to give some type of deference to that person's faith.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, is that the right one?
Yeah. So everyone is wondering why Tiger Lily seems to be going along with Adnan now, whereas before in her season, she questioned him a lot. And she says Adnan is compromised to make up for the double standards. He doesn't see female doctors. And I was like, I don't think he even knew women could be doctors. So
can you imagine him like getting a physical from a woman? He would just probably just squirt all over her.
He's just squirt and go, you have a small mind.
Yeah, you have a small mind.
So then we got a split screen of Adnan and Vanya arguing, and you could tell they wanted them to keep arguing because they put up the split screen.
They did.
So then Niles says, Adnan, it's killing you to let Tiger Lily talk for herself, isn't it? And then Adnan mocks him too and says he's not too controlling. He just has to be a man, and that's what he was raised to be. And then Vanya says, I'm about female empowerment, and Tiger Lily is brilliant and successful. And I was like, is she? We're not sure. She might be. She might be.
We think she might be. And then we see the clip with her phone case.
So she's talking to Adnan's mom, this fuzzy phone with like ears, and it's so big, like it could never fit into a pocket.
No, never in a pocket. And how many germs are on this phone case?
No, exactly. Like, think of us, and she has 2 young kids too. Like, think of a stuffed animal, how gross they get, and then you're carrying that around all day in your purse.
Yes.
And it probably has like mints and like lint from the bottom of your purse stuck to it. It probably smells really weird.
I got fuzzy animal. Y'all, if you have a phone case like this, here it is. And also she's supposed to be rich. This is a $9 case.
Yeah.
From Amazon. It's a bunny ball case. I got to say, if you have one of these phone cases, like you were touched as a kid or something. Something happened. Something bad happened.
I love that she's trying to have this serious conversation with
Adnan's
mom. And like,
what Adnan thinks about women? Here,
can we talk about religion and something serious? And she pulls out these like ears. And she's doing the translating, so the mom has to keep looking at the phone. And it's like, the mom is probably what is this phone case? Are you a child? Because she sounds like an infant. She sounds.
Yes.
It's hard to take her seriously.
Yes.
And I think she might be smart. She is just really detracting from it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this was very interesting. She says, I want clarity on the rules for me and in your religion. And the mom says, well, in a marriage, no one can control each other. You're both free. And has Adnan imposed rules on you? And Tiger Lily says, yeah. And I'm not allowed to, dress a certain way or be alone with a man and all this stuff. And so the mom says, well, we do dress like that here, but you don't have to. There's no rules. And I will not allow Adnan or his brothers to oppress their wives, because she has that ex, Adnan's dad, who was really controlling, and she left him.
Yes.
And so she's totally against this. She says no woman should be subordinate to a man. Every woman is independent. And Tiger Lily's like, that's how your son says. And then that's where she goes, I feel like the rules maybe are just because he wants to and not because of the religion.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because it almost like Yeah, this is almost like an unwritten agreement between them of like, you're going to give me what I want and I'm going to give you what you want.
Yes.
And we both are going to become famous Instagram stars.
Yeah.
It's like, what's their name? I think
it's like Shekinah and Sarper a little. Like she's okay.
Shekinah and Sarper are interesting.
Like she was okay with being controlled by him. She's like, that's our dynamic and it works. And we're becoming a power couple.
And Shekinah, way smarter. Shekinah, I was talking to I have an esthetician that I get a facial from here in LA. Her name's the Lestetician. I love her. But she's a lesbian. That's why it's funny, y'all.
I got you.
Well, yeah. But she said Shekinah is very well known and is kind of like one of the most prominent estheticians in Los Angeles.
Good for her.
And that she's known for being like a really hard worker.
Yeah.
And does amazing work and has celebrity clients and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I say all that. The difference, it almost, because it's that thing of like, and even Sarper is like a personal trainer. They're just more interesting. It's, oh, I hated them so much. He lived with his mom and his mom was terrible to her. Not Beanie. What was that couple? They had the wedding in Palm Springs and it was so fucking terrible.
Jabri and Miona.
Gibberish. Jabri and Miona. That's the kind of vibes that Tiger Lily and Adnan give me. We're like, there's nothing fucking interesting about y'all.
Yeah.
Actually, Jabri he at least was somewhat, at least he had someone in his band with a space helmet.
Totally. If I could have had a spinoff with them, that would have been fine. But they just seem to be, we want to be influencers, and that's why we're here.
Yeah. Tiger Lily doesn't have friends. She literally paid for Cruz and Shaw to do her hair and makeup. That's the only reason why I bet she's paying Cruz to be here today at the tell-all.
Every one of her friends in the first episode that we met was on her payroll. It was like massage, physical therapist, hair, makeup. Goals. Yeah.
Kidding.
All of them. Yeah. And she said it was because her husband wouldn't let her have friends. And I wish we were getting more on him, but I feel like it was a very bad situation and we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, y'all.
So
Tiger Lily.
Finally, Brian has a good take. Finally, Brian has a good take, and he says, "It's Adnan's small mind. Look at Sunny. I don't see Sunny making Vea cover her shoulders, but he doesn't know anybody's name, so he keeps going. Look at this guy, and he doesn't make his girl. It's all his. This guy, this girl, my dude. He does my dude a lot.
My dude, he says that a lot. Yeah. That was a good take. That was a very good take. And it was nice hearing Sunny weigh in on it.
Yes. So Tiger Lily starts to explain herself and Adnan says, be careful. And it was very ominous. And
then Adnan points out, is this when he says, oh no, it's not. Go ahead. Keep going. I didn't want to interrupt.
She says his rules are to keep the marriage strong. Like he doesn't want me in a room with another man because then there would be jealousy or, I don't know. Apparently men and women can't stand in a room together without just starting to fuck or something.
Oh, yeah.
So it happens, I guess. So Sean does one of her informal polls. Who thinks Adnan thinks Tiger Lily is his equal? And one person raises their hand.
Not one.
And Niles cackles. And then Joey
kind of evil, like Natalie on Last Resort cackling. It was a little unsettling to me, but okay, I'll give it to you.
So Joey said, I can see Tiger Lily editing every word she says so as not to piss off Adnan, and it's giving me anxiety. He was dead on when he said it. He's dead on when he said that. Mm-hmm. Where's my rigatoni? So I'm Italian.
Hey,
the gabagool. So Adnan says, maybe I should leave so everyone thinks she's not speaking for herself. If I leave, she can speak for herself. And he walks off the stage, but he's like, answer them, but be careful. Nobody say anything bad or I'll come back.
Or I'll come get you. I'm sorry, there's a car alarm going off. Can you hear it?
You hear that, actually, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's not loud. Mary Payne is always apologizing for the dogs, and I can never hear the dogs. And I'm like, just don't call attention to it. You'd call attention to it too much. But the car alarm, I can hear a tiny bit.
It's this car alarm, and they I think car alarms are stupid, and
No one pays attention to
I
them
think they're
anymore.
they're like leaf blowers. They make
Yeah.
no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And people just beep them, and then but what people do is when they get out of the car, they beep it like 5 times to make sure it's locked.
Yeah.
And one day it was like at 11 o'clock at night, and my windows were open. I'd taken a gum and he beeped it, and I said, "We get it, it's locked, you motherfucker!" I was
No one's trying to steal your Tic Tacs or whatever you have.
No. And you know what the car alarm's for? It's for like a 1994 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah. Yeah. So Adnan says, or maybe I should leave. So he leaves. So Tiger Lily says, I can totally speak my mind when I want to. I'm just choosing not to. Because
other couples are hating on us because we have a successful relationship.
Everyone's jealous of me because I'm so pretty. That's what the go-to is. So Brian criticizes her and says, why are you completely covered up? You're covered up head to toe. Also, Brian, don't shut up. No one wants to hear your thoughts on what a woman is wearing.
No.
So she says, well, I just had a baby. Otherwise, I totally would be wearing a skin-tight dress, and Adnan's fine with it. We saw him not be, so I don't know.
We saw him not be, yeah.
But maybe in America, he doesn't care as much.
I think he cares less in America, probably.
So Tiger Lily says, Adnan's not mad. He's fine. I would know if he was mad. Everyone is like, he just threatened all of us. I'm pretty sure he's mad.
Yeah. Well, I think she knows when he's mad because he gets crazy.
Yeah. So then they take a break and Adnan is like, hello, my princess, my love. What did you say to them?
And she's like, I didn't like anything. That's right. I think when she says, they're just jealous. And it starts to get, Adnan really lets the mask slip off. And we see what a horrible human being he is.
Yep.
What a gross piece of shit.
Yep. And Vanya says Tiger Lily is comfortable being controlled and she has Stockholm syndrome. And that made me think of Shekinah and Sarper a little bit.
But dead on.
Yeah. So Brian and Niles and Vanya kind of start criticizing Adnan. And they're like, you're too young and, you're going to change how you think about things. And you're so set in your ways. You're being too tough. And Adnan says to Brian, you got shot and you're in a wheelchair. You can't teach me anything. Why should I listen to you?
Whoa.
And I was like, I hate Brian, but I will stand up and fight for that.
Yeah. I'm like, I hate that guy. And fuck you, Adnan.
Exactly. And Brian says, I was hard-headed and that's why I got shot. I had an ego and I stood up to people with a gun and I was so stupid and we're just trying to help you not be like that. And Adnan says, you got shot because you didn't believe in God. And I mean, that's where you go, okay, I understand that you believe that.
Okay.
And then Adnan gets so defensive and he walks off from the backstage. He's already walked off the stage. Now he walks off the backstage like a little baby bitch. And they go to the stage. Adnan and Tiger Lily are getting like preening themselves in the mirror and just talking about how everyone is jealous.
So the way they disassociate from everybody and just make it about themselves. And she's like, it almost looked like a scene from like a TV movie or something. It was so dramatic. She was like, baby, don't worry about them, baby.
Yeah. He's having a temper tantrum. And she's like, it's fine. They don't matter. They don't matter, baby.
Yeah,
they're just matter. Which is exactly what Shekinah would say at the first tell-all she was on. She was like, they're just jealous.
Was better the second one. She wasn't
so much better the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joey sits in Sean's chair. I thought that was funny, and then asked if he can host. And she goes, yeah, what would you say? And then Niall says, what would you do if you were divorced 7 times and we all found out?
That was great.
Such a good dig at Brian. And I love Niles. And then Vanya says, I don't think this is a religion or a cultural issue. It's an Adnan issue. And Sean asks Sonny about it because he's Muslim, and poor Sonny and his eyebrows have not said one word. Haven't said one word this whole time. And he says, yeah, I do think Adnan is too controlling to her. And I don't know how that's going to play out.
He said, I think he's hiding behind his culture.
Yeah.
He did say that.
And then we go briefly to Niles and Matilda.
Briefly.
And Niles explains the visa process is slow if you don't have a lot of money. He's paid his side of the fees, but they still have these lawyer fees on her side. And we're going to discuss that, Matilda. And she doesn't look happy. And then, yeah, she doesn't like that. And then they need $4,000 more. Sean suggests Mr. Ark. Could you ask Mr. Ark for the money? Yeah. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to have to make a call after this because he can't ask his real parents.
His parents still aren't talking to him about any of this.
They think she's a scammer and they're not.
I don't think she is. I think she does love him.
I 100% do. She was crying at the airport. I really do think she loves him. So he might ask the surrogate daddy, Mr. Ark, I'm your daddy.
Maybe. Don't have that butt sex. No.
Yeah. So then Brian starts with the xenophobic stuff again and says, Matilda, would you love Niles if he lived in Peru? And she says, yeah, I love him for him. And Brian says, are you sure it's not for America, for milk and honey, for gold in the streets?
But that USA life.
Are you trying to harvest the American dollar?
Ronald Reagan's assistant? Who the fuck are you?
Where is this talking gold in the street?
Yes.
And she says, I don't care. He could come and live with me in Ghana and I'd be happy. And Niles keeps sticking up for Matilda, saying, no, we're really in love. And Brian is like, I don't think so. I mean, maybe she could find another guy, like a rich guy, to give her this USA life. And he keeps doing that thing that Lauren does where he's talking to someone who he thinks doesn't speak English, where he's taking away words and going, USA life. You love USA life?
Yes. Yeah.
And Matilda keeps saying, no, I love him for who he is. And then Tiger Lily and Adnan walk back on, which is so rude. It's like Brian was just showing what an asshole he is. And then they interrupt it. And
so rude. We were all about them good. Again.
Yeah. So Adnan says, I'm talking about respect and no one's respecting me. And then he proceeds to talk over Vanya, who is
Vanya. And Sean brings up the confrontation between him and Brian, and she says, Brian says he was trying to give you advice, and Adnan doubles down and says, why would I take advice from someone in a wheelchair? He was doing drugs and cheating on his wife.
I mean, yes, no one should take relationship advice from Brian, but it has nothing to do with the wheelchair or the fact that he did drugs 20 years ago.
Yeah. The cheating on his wife? Maybe.
He's a horrible person. That's why you shouldn't take advice from him.
That's actually what's more. There's two things that are upsetting for this. One, it is, I don't know the correct term, but it's disabled phobic or so that's just horrendous and gross on
ableist.
Yes, it is gross on that terms. But then what's also just as upsetting to me is there are so many gross qualities of this human that you can go in for. You're missing the plot, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
There's so much more you could pick about Brian. There's just an embarrassment of riches.
It really is. From the very first episode when he met her, Ingrid, and then took off his clothes and asked her to stimulate him so he could put on his catheter. And then she got out of the bathroom wearing pajamas and he got in bed naked and rubbed up against her within hours of meeting. First episode, he was disgusting.
There's so much. You're missing it, Adnan. You're missing it.
There's so much.
But anyway,
So Brian and Niles and Vanya and Adnan are just all arguing. And then Adnan asks Matilda for some reason, do you like men looking at your body and your husband is okay with it? And she says, no, he would be jealous. And Niles says, no, I wouldn't. And then Adnan starts laughing like he's an agent of chaos and is stirring the pot and trying to cause fights with other couples. And he's like, oh, Matilda and her sugar daddy. And then Niles says, Adnan, I will break your face. He
blink,
lost
blink,
it.
Blink, blink,
blink. And so next week, we get Magna being called crazy for wearing an engagement ring before she's engaged. I go back and forth between, is she crazy or is she crazy because men made her that way?
I think a little bit of both, but I don't think Joe made her that way. And I think
I think her dad, and then her ex.
She took her father off of her fucking birth certificate.
Yeah.
We met her mom. Her mother has Miss Havinshaw or whatever.
Yes.
Yes. That's what her mother has done to
Miss Havendish. Yes. I heard you guys talk about that from Great Expectations. Yeah. We hate men in this household. Yeah.
Which I don't love them either.
No.
They're terrible.
So Adnan calls out Sunny for having sex before marriage and then yells at Vea for no reason in a way that is for sure going to trigger this poor girl. Totally raising his voice for no reason.
No reason.
And then Brian gets pushback on assuming he could perform oral sex on Ingrid before they even made out. I'm hoping they call him out on all the other things too.
I hope so too.
Including the first night and the catheter and the nakedness. Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to cause, I like Niles, I do, but I also got really pissed at him probably because he's a liar. He lies a lot. And he kept he lied to Matilda a lot. So I hope when they talk about them next episode, which will probably trigger him, but I hope they bring that up.
He definitely does the masking thing and never learned positive ways to cope with that, of how to not lie and affect other people with his masking, because he does it as a way to like not deal with the uncomfortable feelings of having someone be mad at you. So instead he just lies to make them not mad, but then they get more mad. And then he has negative reaction for that. So he's like, should I lie? Should I not lie? Everyone's mad at me either way. And I feel like he never learned. I feel like there has to be a way to help him learn to not do that.
I wouldn't know. I feel like there has to be.
I feel like there has to be. I feel like he's good at heart.
I do. I think he's I don't think he should
be let off the hook for all of that.
No, not at all. But yes.
But I don't think he's evil or anything.
No, not at all.
So then he gets really close to Adnan's face and raises his glasses and is shooting death beams out of his eyes to murder Adnan.
And we understand why there's going to be 3 more tell-alls, because this is going to be good.
At least 3. That one that was 5.
Oh, that was too much.
Way too much.
This was a good tell-all, though. It was messy. It was great.
Messy. I totally enjoyed it.
This was a great season of B90.
It really was. I hated people, but I wasn't as sick of them by the end as I usually am. Sometimes by usually the halfway point, I'm like, is the season wrapping up?
That's Poodle. Yeah, he's like, I'm done. Where I didn't feel that way till maybe like the last episode. They were all just at the airport. I'm like, I've done that in the episode before.
Yeah,
but whatever.
So who are you rooting for to make it as a couple this season? Matilda, Niles and Matilda.
I guess probably Niles and Matilda. Yeah, that would be the only one really, because Joe, I think Joe does not need to be with Magma. I think she's too young. She needs to. I did a show where Kyle and Kim, when Poodle was in Portugal, they jumped on our show from Cray Cray. Yeah. And Kyle brought up the fact, she's so young too. And that's true. I think she just needs to grow up. So yeah, I think that's it. Really, Niles and Matilda, and the rest, I'm like, please just go away from one another.
So then my last question to you that I always love to ask is, who is going to wind up on Dateline first?
I mean, we've got a runoff this year.
We do, right?
Brian has an actual criminal history.
That's true.
So,
and he seems to really hate women.
But as I've said before, Lauren gives Paul vibes. Lauren would burn someone's house.
Yes.
So I think it's Lauren. Don't you?
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And he would do it with a smile as the flames are rising up behind him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, 100%. We nailed it.
Nailed it.
This was so much fun. We miss you, Mary Payne, but we love these little
we miss you
cheat dates.
Ginger! Get my peepers out of your mouth, Ginger. Those are for reading only, not a toy.
I love it. See, it's like she's here.
It's like she's here. I know we love her, miss her, but she's vacationing, which good for her. She earned
She
it.
takes so many vacations, and she got mad at me once for saying that. She goes, "No, I don't." I thought, how
She's
many
like
do you have
Chantel.
planned?
Like Pedro said, she just wants to take vacations.
Just vacations. Everyone, make sure you're following Reality Gaze because they're the best.
Well, you're the best. We're all the best. I love how much we support one another. It's the best. Some of the best friends now I've made through podcasting.
Absolutely. We get it. We get each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll stay safe down there in Orange County, Sugar.
You too. Stay safe. And yeah, we love everybody. And thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.